Hello everybody, in this video I want to ask you guys, how should teamfight breakdowns be done? Recently, the LEC released a play-by-play breakdown of one of the teamfights between Mad Lions and Fnatic. It's a breakdown that focuses on the ability usage during the fight. Teamfights are chaotic and so many abilities get used, it is impossible for casters to catch everything live. Now, I do my teamfight breakdowns differently and I would love if people could compare both approaches and give some feedback on which they prefer. So here is how my breakdown of this fight would go. In week 2 of the LEC Spring Split, Mad Lions faced off against Fnatic, with both teams sitting at 2 wins and 2 losses, looking to find their place in the standings. Both compositions here have distinct identities. Fnatic want to engage fights with the Leona and have plenty of dive potential with the rest of their champions. Preferably, they don't want to let this game go on too long. Mad Lions drafted a good late game for themselves with the Zir and Xayah, who both have tools to deal with divers. Also, good ability to control fights coming from the jungle and support role. Finally, a bit of dive or disruption of their own in the face of Wukong in the top lane. The early game was defined by frequent fighting around the map, favoring Mad Lions, with Azir getting multiple kills before finally getting shut down. However, with Fnatic not letting up on the aggression and winning a chaotic fight in the mid lane that allows them to secure the Baron, the game swings in their favor. That aggression backfires again during the Baron siege and Fnatic are not able to get much out of it. With the late game approaching, they probably start to feel the pressure. We now arrive at the teamfight this video will focus on. Perhaps feeling the pressure of a strong late game for Mad Lions, Fnatic tried to start a fight without an objective in mind. Azir is able to get away with only using his dash, but Fnatic keep on pressing with Irelia flashing and ulting forward and Pantheon coming in from the same direction, allowing Xayah to root both of them in place. With Irelia going down, Rel finds a counter engage, but the follow-up is not there on time and Pantheon is able to get the stun on Xayah, allowing for Kai'Sa to enter the fight and finish off the kill. With razor-thin margins, Mad Lions come out ahead and secure their first Baron. With confidence in their late game, they take a slower approach and eventually secure a second Baron and win the game. Let's go back and take a closer look at this pivotal fight. Considering Fnatic's constant aggression this game, I think the plan was to create chaos and not allow for Xayah and Azir to have time to position and feel comfortable in these fights. However, this could be a training video of why not to funnel into Xayah. With both Pantheon and Irelia coming from the same direction, both of them get locked up. The Kai'Sa didn't want any part of this and rightly so, but Upset here had an interesting idea. He was wrapping around all of this mess that was happening in the center of the fight and might have gotten access to Mad Lions' backline. However, the Rel beat him to it and found a nice 3-man counter engage onto Fnatic instead. I'm not sure if that's what prompted Upset to abandon that plan, but nonetheless he does. I like to look at teamfights as having a certain structure. That structure is very basic. We have a center and we have what I call wings, but could also be called flanks. The center is important because it defines the fight. However, if you're able to wrap around it, you will get access to the backline, which is what Rel did here. Usually that should be done by the likes of Wukong or on Fnatic's side Irelia and the Eve. While champions that can engage fights like Pantheon and Leona have to be the ones to define the center, with the main damage dealer behind them. However, in this situation it's actually flipped for Fnatic. It's the Kai'Sa and the Leona who are in position to wrap around and attack the backline. I mentioned Upset's movement, but watch Hylissang on the Leona. He seems to do the same thing, but after the Rel comes through, he switches his focus onto her even when out of her CC. A very basic but common mistake from players is to focus on the engage rather than what's behind it. Imagine a scenario where both Leona and Kai'Sa maintain that movement, ignoring the engage at the center. Both have their summoners up. A flash stun on the Azir from the Leona with instant follow-up from Kai'Sa should blow him up easy. And now the Xayah would also be trapped between them and the Pantheon. You can see this play out again later into the fight with Evelyn wrapping around this wall and getting a perfect angle on two lone members being pushed from the other side. However, without flash and ultimate and not very ideal timing, Selfmade is not able to secure the kills. This fight was very close despite all the tools Mad Lions have and the linear engage from Fnatic. Whether it was a mistake for Fnatic to go for it, it's hard to say. Considering that in my opinion their plan was to be aggressive, I would actually say it was the right call. In fact, it did work earlier in the game. To me, this is another example of how team fighting is very underdeveloped. I don't want to criticize the players here because they're just reacting to what's going on in the moment. They have limited time and information to make those decisions. However, I think basic concepts such as the structure of fights, wrapping around the center, not focusing on the engage could go a long way to improving the way players react to team fights. I'll leave it here. Thank you for watching. As always, comments, questions and requests are more than welcomed, but most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day.